actually,
Yeah.
we should celebrate. Welcome to the show. And I hope you enjoyed. I don't know if I'm premature on this. I hope you enjoyed our new intro. Round of applause for the new intro.
Which, although it's really dark and you can't really tell where it is, what it is,
sneak peek, isn't it?
That is the studio. That's a little sneak peek into the studio.
Yeah, it's really cool. And now we have intro theme music.
Yes.
And we have music that we can put in front of stuff. So yeah, it's.
Do we do a shout out?
Yeah, let's do a shout out. It's
at.
I don't know if you call them OMA or OMA or what.
Okay.
But it's OMA.UK, OMA. And they basically do, I love them. They're all like old school hip hop covers. And they just sit, as just 3 or 4 dudes. I think it's 3 actually. But they do such a range of different cool covers. So make sure you check them out on Instagram. And giant thanks to them for allowing us to use their track, which is actually Wu-Tang Cream originally. But they covered it.
Which is iconic. Cool. And also, I noticed once we were filming our intro and we had a little bit of the music playing so we could like see how it all was aligning and stuff. Once it's in your head, it's in your head. Pretty good, isn't it? You know, it's just, and I think that's great. It's going to be a bit of a sticky one for people. Whenever you hear that, you're going to think of our cheeky little faces.
Hopefully so. So yeah,
it's dope. Thank you guys. We appreciate you for helping us and giving us access to that track to use.
Too right.
Hopefully, it hasn't been. What's it called on YouTube?
That's a good point.
Yeah. Hopefully it hasn't, but I think we'd be okay.
I think this is the test episode, isn't it? We'll see.
Yeah, either this one or last week's episode. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, maybe last week's. Yeah.
Yeah, we're ahead.
Yeah, we're in the future.
Yeah, we are in the future.
Oh,
maybe we're at war weird by this point. Who knows?
That does make this extra weird, doesn't it? Yeah. Because the trouble with talking in the future is that you don't know what's going to happen in between. So, like, we could be missing out on something really, really vitally important.
Yeah, that everyone's, like, tuning into to get our hot take on.
Oh, yeah.
And we just don't even talk about it. We don't even talk about it. Yeah. Whatever it is.
Can I do the grand reveal that's going to really not work for audio?
Listeners? Please. Yeah, definitely.
Actually, I'll make it work for audio listeners.
Yeah.
Today,
the gender reveal.
The big launch of My Love That Lasts, the Jam Squared. There it is. Round of applause.
Round of applause for New Bike Day.
2023 Jam Squared New Bike Day. And it's not only, that's My Love That Lasts, but it's also release day for others, I think.
Yes, I believe everything's come out on the same day.
Has it? Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, man.
Maybe
man. This is it's exciting. I think for me as well, just and for the podcast to be involved in this sort of stuff, it's super fun. So we've aligned everything pretty much perfectly that this podcast comes out just as this campaign launches. So anything that we talk about here is actually out, and people who are watching or listening can go and check out the little videos that we're going to talk about, and get a bit of a look at the campaign and stuff like that. So yeah, super exciting, man. I think I obviously have become a big fan of I don't want this to sound like too much of an ad, but let's just be real. Become a big fan of Focus over the last few years, especially with getting somewhat involved and riding the bikes, but seeing how they manage these marketing campaigns has become, from my side as well, from like a marketing guy technically, really exciting and interesting to watch how these things build, and the teasers that come out and the creativity that's involved in all of them. So yeah, just wanted to take a moment just to appreciate that, because there's been some amazing campaigns over the last few years that we've been able to sort of get a little bit involved in with the podcast and talk about. The Happy Place one springs to mind instantly. The fact that went on for so kind of long of like teasing it through the podcast, actually, right? Like we had Dave submit a question. I didn't even know. I had no idea what it was.
Yeah.
And then we ended up. Yeah, and then we had Dave on the show, and it was just that's super good. So that one really sticks out.
It's really hard for us to not sound like an advert, but the reality is, it's like people.
I think we're both like fans of this though, like fans of marketing and watching it all play out.
And we work with these people, so it's like that. It becomes your reality. So beyond the ad, and the fact that we've got Focus bikes and logos in the background, it's good to be a fan anyway of the people that you work with, isn't it? It's good to keep like those people around you. So I'm hyped.
And And it's really nice, again, just to come at this from an angle of being excited to do it, if that makes sense. It doesn't feel like this is a job or like part of what we have to do just to like keep up the thing. And it's not at all. It's for me especially, it's like looking at the whole thing from the outside looking in. And even if this wasn't a focus campaign, I'd be kind of keen to talk about it anyway and be like, oh, did you see what this brand have done? It's really really interesting how they've put this, this whole thing together. So yeah, I think there's a few. I mean, the Happy Place one really sticks out, and also the I can't remember the name of the campaign, the one which was like
Designed for Down
with the flip on the Ebe.
That, I mean, actually we've done so many, like it's been so cool being involved with all of them, because they're proper collaborative effort between Focus and Cut, and like a big team at Focus and a big team at Cut, and like all of the ideas and stuff, and then actually making them a reality takes a lot of work and a lot of like
definitely. I can imagine, mate, especially when you start seeing, like I was reading through the white paper this morning of all the details that are taken care of, especially on this campaign as well, that got overlooked maybe by people. So one thing, I mean, this is a nice little segue actually to talk about. I think one thing that I'd actually forgot about was your message to me a few weeks ago, which was like, have you sent me these flowers? And I'm like, no, why would I send you flowers?
You know what, dude? I was just like, I just thought it was I thought it might be like a podcast sponsor or something like that. I didn't know who would send me flowers.
Sure this went on for a good 48 hours of you been like, are you sure you want to send me some flowers?
I thought it might be a podcast sponsor or something. Yeah.
Why would I send you flowers?
It's it is rad actually that they include us. We're not just like for myself, talking from my own perspective. Like, I'm not like just a kind of like a clown that does the adverts and then goes
like an actor that's literally just brought in just for this, and then you never hear from the brand again. And
so right from the start I got a phone call and they were like, look, we're doing a campaign. We can't tell you too much about it, but it's a dating show. We want to know, out of these bikes, which one would be your pick. You've got to ride it for a whole year. That they just said, look, pick a bike from our range, from our e-bike range, and which one would it be for your life, So my love that lasts, which is the Jam Squared here, so my date that I won on this fake game show, is actually that, there's like an element of truth to it. They then asked even the same question. He went for like the Sam Squared, and then they asked Steffi the same question, and she went for the Jam Squared Carbon. So those are our actual picks,
That's brilliant.
Which is cool, isn't it? It's cool for it to be a silly make-believe crazy advert, but at the basis of it, there is actually truth and
like that bike does actually fit into your style of riding and also what you want to ride throughout the year. That's really cool, man. So when did you first, again, we are sounding like an ad here, but I find it actually really interesting, so bear with us, folks. So when do you first hear about these campaigns, and how does it look from your side, getting involved with it and planning it out and making sure you're free to go and shoot and all that sort of stuff? Like, how does that all work?
So on this one, it was very much like, because there was no element that was like difficult or needed my particular consideration, it was just block these dates out, we're doing this dating show one. But it was a long time ago, and we went to actually film in the studio. We went up to Scotland where they'd hired out a real theatre, so it was like a real multicam. It was like it was honestly like being on Blind Date or whatever. And they had, and when you're there, you have like makeup, and there's a food van. It's like a proper it's like it's a proper like film set. Yeah, it is like that. Yeah, proper production. Yeah. And then we're there with obviously the host, who was like a proper actor, who was actually really good. It's always amazing seeing how good people are at their thing, that you don't.
For sure. I'm not sure if that's what we talked about recently, but I remember we did a sax campaign with Tim Warwood, who was the host. Yeah. And I remember, this is exactly what you're talking about, I think. I remember talking to him before we started recording, and, I was like, oh, have you got like notes or anything? Like, do you need anything? He was like, nah, I'm good. we were just chatting back and forth, didn't really think anything of it. But as soon as that camera was on, it was like a different person. He just went into super pro mode. Like, I wouldn't say he was quiet before, but he was just doing his thing.
Yeah.
We were chatting, and then he had everything almost in his brain, and he could just like perfectly riff it off. Yeah, just been like, bam, 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 bam. And me and Darren, who was like managing this campaign, we were like, that's what you pay these people for. Like, there's no fannying around. It was just like, boom, done. One shot, done. Next one. It was so good to watch. And I guess, you forget how professional these people are, right? And I guess you're seeing a little bit of that as well, because you're going and you are almost being an actor for the day, right?
The amount of like B-roll they must have. And like a certain amount of it is like improvisational. Like they'll be asking me to come up with like questions for the bike that that was the dangerous bit. It was the Olly improv bit on the script, which is just like me asking the bike these questions, and I come up with some awful ones, like really bad ones. And obviously it's like cart, go again, cart, go again. And then you compare it to someone who actually knows their lines and is like, done it before. They're really good. Even was really good, actually. Even was
really
brilliant. Yeah, he played like my character. Obviously, we're playing ourselves, but we sort of had me as like a bit more like nervous to be on the game show. A bit more like, it's like I'm looking for love. I'm like a bit worried about it. And then Even was like the cocky guy, because I think it kind of suits the bikes ultimately. So they based our characters a bit around. Not our characters, it's just us, but
Sam Square's a bit burlier, a bit more like comes in there swinging. All right. That kind of makes sense as well, actually.
Funny. But it was mad because we were in this theatre, dude, and it was like it's an empty theatre just with loads of people on cameras, sound people, people running around sorting stuff out, but all of the chairs are empty. So it is wildly creepy atmosphere. All the lights are pointed at you, and like, it's tough. It is tough. Yeah, the thought of being on stage is terrifying to me. After doing that, it's like
big time. I've said this for a long time, even though technically we whatever talk for a living. We do this. The thought of this being in front of an audience is terrifying to me. Like, it would just change so much. And I just watched, I saw that famous comedian, Two Bears, One Cave, Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura, they just did a live podcast at the Daytona 500. And it looked like there was thousands of people watching them. And I haven't watched it yet because it just looks like it's just a bit cringe. It's like, it just doesn't... Yeah,
it's not dude. It
isn't it. It's not what it should be. Like, it should be two dudes in a quiet space just chatting, and maybe, there's one person floating around, but adding this onto a stage, because we've had offers too, right? Like, we have had offers of come to the bike show, or Malvern's, or wherever it could be, and do like a live podcast, and you're like, it's not it. If it was an interview, like, maybe, but us two just riffing is not it. It wouldn't be appealing to people.
If you could have a conversation like we're having now, where you're engaged in each other, and then you could be like, "What do you guys think?" And then Dougie, can you put a crowd noise in? What do you guys think? All right, and then carry on having a normal conversation. Like, you can't just sit there and have a normal conversation and like ignore this crowd of people, whether it's 100 people or at Daytona 500. Fucking, I dread to think how many people. Dude,
I know. And and I guess people are expecting something out of you, right? Like, they're going to be expecting, if it was an interview, like a Joe Rogan style interview, they're expecting some knowledge they've never heard before. So you've been mindful of, like, and then I guess with us, maybe they're expecting a few laughs or something silly. And it's like, it would be terrifying. Absolutely terrifying to me. But hey, I mean, I'll never say never, but we'd definitely go into there with absolutely no sort of plan or like idea of how it could turn out, because I don't think you could. I don't think you could script anything like that. It'd just come across really fake.
Lots of comedians do it, but then they're comedians. You know what I mean? Man. So fucking they can always fall back on their main skill. It's not like I've got any skill at that.
And whenever you see stuff like that, it's something that I realised a few years ago, especially with comedians. You see them on like a game show and it looks like it's improvised, but then when you watch like a stand-up show, like a live stand-up, you realise that they're actually just doing bits all the time, taken from a live show. So it's not improvise a lot of time. I know, I think Mock the Week, I don't know if people will remember Mock the Week, but that was really scripted.
Yeah.
And it takes away that thing. You're watching it thinking, oh, wow, as if he came up with that out of his head. But it's like, nah, he had the question a week in advance. He could line jokes up. And yeah.
Totally, yeah. Like
being able to improvise is tough.
Yeah, a lot of them are really good actors. Like, I think there's probably always an element of improvisation and like the host. I mean, just being a host. Imagine being a host week in, week out. You've got like, you're the host of like a chat show and you don't know what the people are going to say and you're preparing for it. Well, you do know what they're going to say, but like, there would be still an element of like improvisation, like your reaction to their question that you know what their answer's going to be. Like, oh.
Yeah. Rob Dyrdek was talking about when he films Ridiculousness, he does like 6 episodes in one day, just so he's in that groove of it. But he's just in it, because I think if you had to reset every time and start from fresh, and I know with anything like this even, it takes a little bit of time, but after a little while you're into it and it just happens. But if you, he was saying he just does 6, I think it's 6 or sometimes 8 episodes in one day, just like boom, done. Next block the next day, and just stay in that groove. So there's probably something to that as well. Imagine how long it'd take to get warmed up on a stage with like a few hundred people watching you.
Mate, exactly. It's a crazy idea. Bernard actually messaged me a minute ago saying, do you want to do a live podcast in New Zealand with Bren and I? I mean, I was like, I have absolutely zero qualification to do that. It sounds awful, but yeah.
Hey, it could be good, man. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
So, back to the Love That Lasts campaign. It actually got me thinking how specific your choice is actually to where you live. So it was easy for me to pick the 150. It was sort of quite obvious because of where I live. I think like 150 is almost at the outer limit of what you need, really.
Okay.
I think in the Surrey Hills, isn't it? And it got me thinking a little bit of like how we all focus in the bike industry, I feel like, on what the best bike is or whatever. I actually didn't mean to do that pun.
It was good though.
Thank you.
Anyway,
but we do all focus very, very heavily on like what the current thing is, whereas actually for every single place, whether you live like even from your place to my place, there'll be like these like unique and different things that would actually affect a choice, like a ideal setup. Do you know what I mean?
I agree. Yeah, totally. I think people used to often think about it, with downhill bikes, especially. I know when I was growing up, it's like everyone wanted a downhill bike, but didn't really know why they needed a downhill bike. It's because you wanted a downhill bike and they were cool and they were big and burly and had loads of travel and stuff. And I agree, like if you really think about it and you become maybe a little bit more serious about biking, trying to choose that right bike for where you live. But then the other side of that is also people now are investing quite a lot into experiences and going away. And there's probably nothing worse than booking a trip to go to. Actually, it's a good example. Let's say you live in Surrey.
Yeah.
And then you're coming up to the Peak District. Maybe you need a bit more travel.
Yeah.
Up here, maybe? Is that fair to say? And then,
I hear you, yeah.
Or you're going to New Zealand. Let's just like go totally different. But you're going to like skyline New Zealand, and you're going to need a burlier bike, but you don't have it. So maybe buying for your area is one thing, but also thinking about where you would ideally want to ride. Or every month you're going to go to a bike park, for example, and your little 130 isn't going to cut it. So I think there's a fine balance of finding the right bike for you, definitely.
I think you can't go wrong with a 150 because I still
agree.
use mine as a cross-country bike. Like a 150 to me is just like, and you can have 160 up front, 150 rear. Like you can still go away on it, and it's not like you're out out.
And I think when you look at the whole movement now of one bike for doing the odd downhill or hitting some jumps, it seems to be a 150 seems to be pretty much everyone's go-to, would you say? I'm really not a geek about this stuff. I'm really not. Like, I don't really think about it or anything, but I know the Sam Squared e-bike I had before the Jam Squared, that was obviously a little bit more. I guess that would have been a 170. I think, it was a little bit lighter as well because it's the older model with the smaller battery, but that felt good up here because some of the stuff that you do ride is quite rocky and
Yeah.
a little bit faster maybe as well in places. So, but 150 just seems to be. I wouldn't go any less than 150, and I probably wouldn't go any higher than 160.
Yeah. See, I reckon I could. I reckon that's the difference. So, like,
yeah,
I think that I probably could go lower and get away with it easy in these tiny hills we got.
yeah.
You know, and then you could get. I mean, what are you talking about? What? Like, that's what I kind of like question is like, what am I talking? So let's say, for instance, we made like a Surrey Hills bike and a Peak District bike. What they would actually look like, whether the Surrey Hills bike is, there's always going to be like a kind of trade-off, isn't there? There's going to be like positives and negatives to every single thing that you do to a bike. So whether if I could get my jam and I could maybe make, I reckon 150 could be on the outer edge of how much travel you need, and maybe I'd get away with actually with a 29-inch wheel. Maybe I'd get away with a 130 or 140. But what is the actual difference? You know, like what am I gaining by?
I think I'd love to do a test and just see what it actually feels like, because I think for me, I've never done it back to back or even within the same year of changing between them a lot of the time. And I'm really, openly not a bike geek about that stuff. I like to think I'll just ride whatever. Like, I don't really care that much, but I don't know if being on a 140 would change that much for me.
No.
I really don't think it would, as long as like as long as the angles were some like similar. Do you know what I mean?
I think that's
I remember.
Yeah, that's kind of what we talk about, isn't it? When we talk about the suspension travel, we're not really talking specifically only about that 10 millimeters of difference. I think what you're sort of saying is like a 140 tends to be less aggressive than a 170.
Yeah. I was just thinking actually about, I had the Focus Tron.
Yeah.
Tron.
Yeah.
Is it Tron?
Tron, yeah.
Tron. I think it's Tron, because Tron's the movie, right?
But I think you say it like Tron, like the
there you go.
pronunciation.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
Okay. So I had one of those, and that was obviously a little bit steeper, and that is actually the one time where I've gone, this maybe isn't the bike for me. Maybe. It's like maybe. Yeah, and I rode it. I only rode it a couple of times. I rode it at this place called Parkwood Springs, sort of like some man-made. When I say man-made, I mean like they're sort of like more a bike parky. Yeah, and I remember thinking, maybe this isn't for me. Like, I don't like it. It's just a little bit too steep. It's a little bit more leaning towards an XC bike for me.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
So that is actually, I forgot about that I had that bike I only had it for a little bit, but I do remember.
Well, that was less travel, wasn't it? Yeah, that was.
Yeah, less travel. That'll be a 140, I think.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. So it does make
I wish I was better at this stuff. I genuinely do think I really wish, but I think the only way to probably get better is to ride them all in quite like succession.
Yeah,
quick succession, and just go and do a run on one. Right, what was that like? How did that feel?
And pay attention to the numbers and the differences as well. Like, it does take a while for sure, doesn't it, to actually like. The frustrating thing about testing products is that, like, I feel like being adaptive is a really useful thing. But also being adaptive means that you can quickly adjust to small things, which means that a couple of things might get lost when you quickly adjust. You might not notice that, like, the front seat does seem to be pushing a bit, or whatever it is, whatever your feedback might be, you might miss it if you're adaptive. So
it's hard, that whole testing thing, man. That is a science, that stuff. Yeah, especially I always think that even with like downhill and stuff, you're running the same track every time, so you're getting faster naturally anyway, because you start learning where things are, where to push, where to hold back. I don't know, I'd love to go and actually experience one of those like testing days a little bit, because I would be interested to see how, because sort of naturally through the day you're going to get faster, but then if you're changing the bike, it's going to, I don't know, I'd be interested to see like what factors in going faster. Is it just learning the track and stuff like that, or is it other stuff? I don't know.
It's interesting to do that. Something feeling faster and something being faster, which are two different things as well.
All right, companionship. I'm sorry, but we got to interrupt this love-filled episode to talk to you about something that I love. And also today's episode sponsor, and that is Compex. Now, I've been using a bunch of Compex products over the last couple of years, And the one that I have absolutely fallen in love with, it is the perfect fit for me, is the Fix 2.0 massager. I use it in a couple of different ways. I use it for warming up. So before I go for a ride or a gym or a run, I'll get the muscles firing, get a little blood flow going. And I absolutely love using it for that. But ultimately, I use it for after riding, running, working out to relieve stiffness, right? It has 5 powerful intensity settings. It is paired with a high stall force. Will give the intense pressure needed to help relieve the toughest spots safely and comfortably. It comes with 5 interchangeable heads, which look like that. There you go. You've got the nice little pointy one. You've got the ball. You've got the little flat one. Oh, honestly, dream. It has a rotating arm to help tailor your perfect massage. And of course, it's pretty quiet. Unlike other things which you might have in your house that vibrate like crazy, wake the neighbors up, this thing's going to go to a maximum of 60 decibels. You're going to be able to do this without waking up the rest of the street. And honestly, I couldn't live without this thing. And I'm speaking from the heart. It's ergonomic design, obviously, rotating head, speed adjustment, 5-speed settings. It's got a removable battery as well. It charges super quick, so you can always have it on hand. Personally, little pro tip here, I leave mine in the coffee table in the living room. So whenever I'm sat just chilling, maybe reading a book, watching TV or YouTube or something, I'll take the Fix 2.0 out and just massage little bits that are sore, from everything from like the neck, which obviously you get a super sore neck, especially from all the hooking. Legs, most importantly, iron out the legs, calf muscles, just anything where you're going to feel sore. So this thing just keeps the body firing. It makes you be able to keep doing fun stuff, right? Not only do Compex do the Fix 2.0, they also have a 1.0, which is a little bit cheaper as well. That comes in at around £200. And they have tons of other equipment for recovery, for sports performance. I urge you, head over to compex.com and take a look at the huge range of products. And of course, it wouldn't be a dope ad read without a little bit of a deal. All right, so if you go to compex.com, have a browse around, enter the code The Ride Companion. What is it? The Ride Companion, all in capitals. That's going to knock you a whopping 20% off everything on the store. And that will also knock 20% off products that are already discounted. So you're going to double discount, triple discount in some ways. So yeah, couldn't speak highly enough of Compex. That's why they've stayed a sponsor. That's why we love talking about it. And as always, we don't talk about stuff we don't love and use ourselves. So please head over to compex.com, enter the code The Ride Companion, save yourself a whopping 20% off, and let us know what you bag. I'd love to see it and how you're using it. Thank you, Compex. We appreciate you. Back to the episode. True. Very
Can
true.
I talk you
Very
through my
true.
choice as well for the Jam Squad?
Please, yeah. We keep going all over the place from this.
No, I think it's good.
But it's kind of perfect. Yeah.
No, it's good, and it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is good. So I chose that. So basically, I had the carbon version in my options as well, and I chose that because for me, a 150 e-bike is like, that's like your daily driver through the hardest months of winter. So and it's gonna get chucked in the back of a van, and it's gonna be like, I don't want her to hear, but a bit of a beater, you know? You're going to really you're going to be ploughing through mud. You're going to be doing relentless laps. So my choice to go for that one was that 150 over 170. I just felt like 150 at home is just for all the reasons we've just covered.
Yeah.
But I thought it'd be cool to ask you, if you were in the dating show, what out of those 3 bikes, so you've got the Jam Squared 150mm aluminium Bosch motor 29er, or you've got the Sam Squared 170mm travel, or it might even be 180mm travel, bigger travel, again Bosch, so it's essentially the same, just some slightly different angles and more travel, or you've got the carbon version of this one here, which is flashier, lighter, it's the same bike as this basically, so it's just a carbon version of this. which would be yours, and what questions would you ask? I'm really putting you on the spot here. What questions would you ask your date? Like, what specific things would you identify? What about it?
I like it. Okay, so obviously number one thing. How much is it?
Okay, but you're right.
But
That is a deciding
Let's be
factor.
real. It is a
Yeah,
consideration, right? Cost of living crisis and stuff like that. At
Absolutely.
the moment, it's like, right, what am I getting for my money, etc. So yeah, that's one thing I'd be looking at.
Yeah.
I have looked through obviously all of the ones that they've just released, and I really like. I'd go Jam Squared, and I'd go. Oh man, I
Would
want
you
to
go
pick the same
carbon?
as you.
Would you pick the
I don't
same as
think-
me? Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to. So I'd
Alright.
go. Okay,
Yeah,
I'd
'cause you
go
might end up in a love
Jam
triangle.
Squared. Exactly, and we'd be sharing, and it'd get messy.
Exactly.
So I'd go Jam Squared. So they do one which is the 6.8, which retails at £5,700, which is still a lot of money, but it's reasonable for what you're going to get. You're going to get the Bosch motor. You're going to get the what is now a 750 watt, right?
I mean, that goes for so long.
You're getting a lot. You're getting the Fox 36s, which are, float DPS rear shock. You're getting a good spec, basically.
Yeah.
I like that it would have the regular gears, as in like with a cable, because that is one thing that I've been quite honest about, is that I do not like.
Yeah.
It's great. People love it. People are like, oh, what's it like having the, what's it called? The
Lecky
Axis Lecky gears. But it is a thing that it's there, especially when you're riding in rocky stuff all the time. For me, like, just being honest, like I
Yeah,
don't
no
like
doubt,
that it's
yeah.
there, and I'm waiting for it to get smashed off, and I'm waiting
Yeah.
to have to buy another one. It's terrifying. So yeah, just go like standard for me, dude. I go like middle spec,
Yeah.
sort of like just what's the word? Reliable. I go like reliable, like not over the top, just reliable, good quality spec, nice color option, because color's quite important for me. I am that guy sometimes. So in that 6.8, they do a nice like stone blue and the slate grey. Really like that one. Big fan of that. And what sort of questions would I ask it? I would be asking for reliability. Are you going to show up on time?
Yeah.
Are you going to be there when I need you?
Yeah.
The answer's probably going to be yes with one of these bikes. They're a very high quality bicycle. I'd be asking it, do you like turning quick corners? I'd be asking it that.
You
do you
like
like
quick
to turn
corners?
quickly?
Yeah. You like.
Yeah,
quick
I want
corners.
quick corner. I want tight corners. I'd be asking it that. You have put me on the spot here.
Maneuverability.
I'll
No,
be
I have.
honest.
I'm trying to think
Maneuverability.
of other things like to do with the peaks. Well, this is a little bit what it was like, because like when we were shooting it, it was almost like you had to think. Obviously, you want it to be funny to imagine it was a human, because that is the humour is in the fact that it's a dating show, but with a bike the other side. So you're trying to make links between humans and the bike. So a question that you can ask, like the one about scratches is a bit like
That's a good one.
cheek. Yeah, I didn't make it up, but it
Okay.
was. I'm not claiming it, but like,
That's a good one.
it is really difficult, isn't it, to do one that's
It is.
both and it's not so deeply offensive.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I'd obviously be asking if it doesn't mind cold weather, hot or cold weather, but obviously the
Yeah.
bike's going to be fine. I want it to be spontaneous. Can I
Yeah.
just grab it, go for a ride? And that also falls into reliability, right? I just want it to be reliable. I don't want to always be looking for fucking parts trying to fix this thing. I want it just to be reliable, spontaneous. I want to know that I can ask that thing, do you want to go for a 2-hour ride in 2 minutes time? Yes. And I want to grab it and I want to go.
So you and I are on the same bike, basically.
I think we would be, but we're similar, aren't we, in that respect? I think.
Yeah, I think so.
It's not like we've got XC guy and downhill
it's
guy
true.
talking. We are quite similar, but I think that's what I'd go for. I'd just go mid spec, Jam Squared 6.8, good price. You've got the same battery as the one you've got, a very similar spec as well.
A lot of, but I'm sure you know a lot of people that would probably go for the carbon version, wouldn't they? Fancy people, and people that fettle their bikes a lot. Whereas I feel like you and I are both people that are just like, you'll get,
I want
you will
reliability.
get washed, but you won't get washed every time.
Exactly. No, you're right, mate. You're right, and I think that's one thing that it's one of the elements I really don't like about biking in a way, is that like we were talking about, of like what bike's right for you in your location, not which is the most expensive bike I can get for the least amount of money
Yeah.
that looks nicest on the top of the car. So that everyone's going to be jealous of. Like that's not it for me at all. And I think there's more consideration when it comes to buying a bike, you know, and
there's not just an answer. That's what I think is gets lost sometimes, because there's not just an answer. Like it does completely depend, and it doesn't have to just be like the most expensive bike wins. Like you have to, if you actually think about what you ride percentage wise, if you go to the Alps once a year, what's the point in dragging around extra travel and
for sure. You know what? And before my involvement with Focus and stuff, and I was doing these behind the bike series things, I had a what do they call it? A Caliber Boss Nut, 999 quid, right? And it was the most fun thing ever. Because a few elements came into play. Not saying you didn't care about it, but £1,000 bike is obviously a lower than.
You're joyriding, weren't you? You were
basically, you just like it. It's a cheaper bike, but it withheld it, man. And the thing is with biking is you can go out and you can have the same amount of fun on a £1,000 bike as someone on a 10 grand bike. You can have the same day, the exact same thing, and that's really cool. So that's again all going back into where I just go like mid spec, reliability, all good. But I think one thing just to plug in here. If anyone wants to have a go at this little game that we've just played, trying to find out what the best bike is for you, if you go to the Focus website, you can play the game and go through all the questions you asked, and then it will tell you at the end of it what is your preferred bike.
Have you actually done it yet? I did it. It's not live?
I did it earlier, actually, shit, I forgot I'd even done it. So I did it earlier, and the Sam Squared came out as my perfect
Did
bike.
it? Yeah. There you go. So you're actually going against the... Yeah.
I am. But I did it earlier and the Sam Squared came out. But it's a really good thing to do. So if you go over there, and also what's really cool is it will allow you to set up a first date. So you could go through, find the bike that you like, or that it thinks you like, your preferred bike, and then you can find your local Focus dealer and actually go for a ride on one.
That's really cool, isn't it?
That's cool, that.
Yeah, it's really good.
I found that hilarious. I was like, that's so clever. Like, what an amazing... Again, coming back to the marketing side of it, what a great idea and a great concept. So, you're happy on yours?
Oh, mate, I'm well happy on mine. I always get to a point, like, when new bikes come out, I get real... Oh, it sounds stupid, but with an e-bike, it's like it's been on a journey with you through the winter. You know, it's just been beating through ponds and... like mud and like by the end of the year, it's beaten up and it's had a hard time, but I never really want to get rid of my bikes and get a new one, because I feel like we've been through something together. So all of these things really make me laugh, because they do sort of apply to the campaign, and I do feel that way. I'm not someone who wants new stuff all the time at all. I actually really like old stuff and having it for ages
and being comfortable and just really knitting with it.
I mean, even like knowing how, you know, when you have a bike, there's one thing like having it until pivot bearings wear out and then getting a new one, or just even like replacing them and knowing how to replace them, and then understanding the bike that little bit more, and like it's the same with the car. Like you learn how to you change
Do you think the e-bikes add a bit more to that though? Because, you know, that sort of maintenance can be a little bit above people's like basic knowledge of bike maintenance. Would you agree?
Do you mean in terms of like motor stuff?
Yeah, like if anything goes, you get an error code at some point or whatever. Like, I agree with you that it is good to go on that journey and learn how it all works and be able to replace bearings and stuff like that. But I think this is no dig at anyone at all, but like the e-bike just adds that extra element where you just like, I don't really want to touch that. Like, I don't know if I want to be taking the battery out or doing anything. It can void warranty and stuff like that. So
I know what you mean. I think this is a good clip, because honestly, we're troubleshooting e-bike problems. So I've had e-bikes for a long time, as have you, Davey, and there are problems that you come across. Most of the big ones, you're going to be best to go to your local bike shop, but there are a few that you can fix out on the trail. I'm not going to go into specific brands' error codes or whatever, but the biggest one and the most common one is the magnet, whether your magnet's on your spoke or on your disc. That'll just get like metal attached to it. It might be pad material from the sinters. It might just be like wear from, I don't know, from your chain, whatever. It gets like tiny little hairs of metal attached to the magnet, and it'll block the signal going to the motor. And that's one of the most common things, isn't it? Right? Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. I've had that myself.
So that's my number one.
Mine was stupid
fix.
though. Mine was a broken spoke.
Oh, was it? Interesting.
Yeah, and
with the magnet on.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. So
Exactly.
the magnet's the first one. Then I would say water ingress is naturally something that happens, and if you can just get to, for instance, on a shifter on some of them, pull out each individual connector and make sure that it's connected properly. That's like the number. These are all just like the quick fixes. I feel like. I think it's worth mentioning though, isn't it? It's good.
No, definitely.
And then the third is quite often is chain. These are the only ones that I've ever had. So it's like the chain or mech is off. So they're the only problems I've actually ever had. That.
What do you mean off?
Like it can, if the power's not going to the back wheel, that'll come up as an error code, and it's
right.
So the chain might be off, it might be between gears, or the mech might be, or it might be about to go, or whatever. I don't know quite how it works, but they're the only error codes I've really had, to be honest.
Okay, I had it is electric, so it's like the shifter on mine, the axis shifter, was out of line, and I watched a YouTube video which was really helpful, and it helped me get it back in line, and it's all done on the shifter. Like
the future.
Really cool. Yeah, it was really cool. I was like really torn with it. I'm like, this is cool, but also I kind of like just having a spanner in my hand.
Yeah, I hear you.
But yeah, I did manage to fix it. But dude, there's some amazing resources online as well. Like,
true.
There's two different people here. There's one guy who goes, I'm gonna have a go at it through YouTube and just have a crack, and then the other guy that's like, just take it to your local bike shop and just let them figure it out, because it's.
I'd probably normally recommend the latter, wouldn't you? I mean, e-bikes especially.
And especially at the moment, support your local bike shop.
Yeah.
Like, not YouTube.
Mate, when you see people working on their e-bike and they don't turn the motor off, it scares or they, like they've got their fingers near the drive. Oh, it's terrifying. Just always.
Like working on a dirt bike with it running.
Because there's something so sinister about the power delivery of an e-bike. It's just and then your fingers off. Oh.
This is semi-related actually. So the new Focus e-bikes have gone to a Bosch motor. Mm-hmm. The last ones that you probably had, and I've got Shimano. Can you tell the difference between them, riding them?
Very much so. Yeah.
I haven't done the back-to-back, so I wouldn't know. Yeah,
I've been well lucky to get to do that. The cool thing about riding, one of the cool things about riding Focus is they've always done like a Shimano and a Bosch at the same time, so they always have like a couple on the go, which is amazing. So the Bosch is, can I say it? The Bosch is my personal favourite. The Bosch is the V8. It delivers the most torque. Like it's just, the Bosch is actually my personal favourite. The Shimano I really like, and obviously e-bike's an e-bike. They're all fantastic. The Shimano I think works really well at a higher cadence, so it feels more like a mountain bike in that respect. Your legs are spinning higher, but the Bosch is just like grunt out of the gate power. Yeah, and you really do. I really notice it for sure. Yeah.
And do you play around with them at all, like with the settings, or with like on the app you can change the power curve?
I think I'm gonna, because some of the boys down at MB have been experimenting with the like app, and they can plug in. Yeah. I've never made mine go over the legal limit.
No, the de-restriction thing's tough, because then it voids warranties and all sorts of stuff.
Exactly, yeah. But you can change like the curve and stuff and how the power delivery is. And some of their bikes are mental down there. Some of their Bosch bikes, they're like tuned up. They're really crazy. So
like Thomas Slavic out of a gate, it just like instantly ramps up, and then you just sat there pedaling above the battery.
Totally. But I'm gonna say I do like the Bosch the most. I mean,
Okay.
everything nowadays, I would say pretty much everything I've ridden anyway has it pretty dialed. You don't really have problems. And
Of course, because you've obviously ridden Shimano, Bosch,
Fazua,
and the Fazua. Yeah, have you ridden the
Yeah.
Yamaha one?
I haven't ridden. No.
No.
Like everything's pretty dialed. Do you know what's really cool about e-bikes as well? If you consider the range of e-bikes, all of them have the range of jam squared e-bikes. They all have the same motor at the heart of it. So then you can just consider the parts around it, whether they're of importance to you or not. You know that you're getting that same motor at the very middle of it all, which is really the key part. And
which is the CX race, I believe.
Right. I got on mine. I actually took off the screen. I find the screen a little bit distracting, especially because sometimes I end up riding back in the dark and I can't see anything. Like, so I've got very little on my handlebars. I've just got like a battery and mode indicator on the shifter, and that's really all you need. But within the screen, the Kiox, I think it's called, the Bosch Kiox. I think it is anyway. There's loads of different things, and people.
Oh yeah, Kiox 300 it is.
That's it, yeah. And people like hook up. You can hook up all kinds of different data, measuring heart rate stuff and all that.
It's got a USB port as well, so you can charge your phone.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? We live in a fucking. It is. It does
I did
feel
see
like
that.
the
I was
future,
like,
doesn't it?
it's kind of crazy. I mean, you could plug in your lights, so you go for a longer ride with lights.
That's true. Actually, I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, you could do
or
that.
you could charge your phone. Like, it's cheaper than using the house electric, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess you have kind of used the house electric ones. I don't know.
I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah,
It's really.
Wonder what else you could charge. Let's see what else you can charge out on a bike ride.
Yeah,
Just
right.
come back with all your shit charged up. Like,
Yeah. I'm trying to think of other differences. That we can talk about from this jam squared to the last jam squared. But
they have started, actually. This is kind of only a footnote, but it's worth noting because I had a chat about it this morning. So the plastic that they're using on the down tube and the chain guide is way more eco-friendly, environmentally friendly. It's like a really small step that folks have done, just kind of trying to like reduce impact and waste. So it's all made in Germany, and it's like literally 2 kilometers away from the factory where Focus bikes are built. They have all the plastic pieces come from within Germany, so they're not shipping them from Asia, which I thought kind of cool. Like, it's a small step.
Yeah, it's cool.
A small step is better than no step. So
yeah, absolutely. That's all good. Yeah. So in terms of like how it rides, this one has you can see the motor position's different. So the reason for that is it's a big battery, so it obviously has a fair bit of weight to it. The battery, they've tilted the motor up, and then the battery is like goes as low as possible. So you've got weight as low as possible.
Right.
Which you can really feel on the bike, like.
And this is a removable battery as well, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I actually like the weight of an e-bike. Certain elements of the weight of an e-bike offer cool things to riding. I think, and having the weight that as low as possible is really, really. It does feel cool. Like, if you're gonna have weight on a bike, you have it low.
Yeah.
World Cup races put bits of lead on their BB, and you're essentially doing that with your battery. So you're making it as low as physically possible. We've changed.
I wonder if anyone's ever tried ankle weights.
Interesting thought.
Thank you. Not a bad one, that, is it? Ankle weights.
Bren, I mean, I thought you should do pump track riding with a weight vest on. Just pump out laps with a weight vest on. That would be good, wouldn't it? If you had a pump track near you and you had a weight vest on, you look like a nutter.
You get strong.
But you would get strong.
You get so strong.
Because you have to do like quite explosive pumping. And then if you had like 20 kilos...
I'm just thinking, dude, I've got a weight vest. Well, mine was 15, and I used to run in it, and you get strong. Yeah.
And there wouldn't be any of the impact that you'd get from running with a weight vest on.
That's a great idea.
Isn't it?
Yeah. I like that.
Because already, when you're in a bomb hole, you're doing more than your body weight, because there's G's involved.
Okay.
So then you're doing like a progressive squat. It'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Yeah. Anyway,
Wow, there's a challenge. That's a good YouTube video there. Riding the punch rack in a
absolutely,
weight vest.
Yeah, too right.
All right, there you go.
It's got slightly different suspension linkage as well on the new one.
Yep.
And I think that
How is it?
That is literally like I'm not gonna do any favors going through any of the rest of the spec, but
No. One thing I did notice, I don't know if this is something folks have done for a while. They've got a universal derailleur hanger.
I
don't know if that's new.
The SRAM job
Is that-
it's really good. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if that was new or not, but again, quite handy in it because there's nothing worse than banging that off and you're like trying to find one for the specific model, the specific year. So yeah, I thought that was kind of cool, but it might be something they've done for a while.
No, it's cool.
Has yours got a tool bag? Yours got a tool compartment or a bag?
Mine doesn't have
Bag.
it's a bag. Yeah, mine doesn't have mine attached. Because you know, like, dude, you know, I'm a cool guy. So we don't have we just don't even carry tools. We're just so chill about I'm a cool guy. So
Yeah. House key and a phone. That's it. Go biking, isn't it?
even that's so funny because that's so that's such like a thing. People, if you ride up your way, probably everyone goes with a pump, a tube. They're all like self-reliant.
Everyone else does. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, not yourself. Yeah. But in the Surrey Hills, I just see no point. I'll just walk back to my car, and I deserve the walk. Like you're never that far away from anything. So
I've had a few where I've been like a long way out, and you're like, no, this is the worst.
That's funny.
There's a big push on an e-bike as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh dear.
So well done, Focus. Well done, Cup.
Yeah, great campaign. If anyone wants to learn more about it, head over and check out the website. Do the little dating game. It's really funny. The video they've put out, obviously with you, which we've not really spoken about that much, but we've spoke about it quite a bit. The love story video, finding a love that lasts.
And there's more to come as well. It's worth checking it out because there's more to come. It's funny.
I really enjoyed that video, man. Yeah. It's again on another level. Really cool. But yeah, big up Focus. New bike day. March 1st.
Round of applause.
Enjoying it.
Now I notice you've been
not easy to release a bike.
No, it's not. True that. Yeah. I noticed you've been putting the you've been blowing the. Jeez, I'm struggling for words.
Here we go.
You've been putting out the bat signal to the companionship for some dating stories. Oh, yeah. Is that right? Putting out the bat signal? You know what I mean?
We put the bat signal out for some dating stories. Yeah, I figured that we were going to talk about love. This is a good question. Before we do these, let me just hit you with this. Please. What's the first thing you loved? The first thing you felt real love for? Like in your heart, love for that thing. Do you have anything?
It's got to be mum, hasn't it?
That's a good
do
one.
Do you mean like a thing or?
I just feel like there's a point in your life where you realise that you actually love something or someone.
Yeah.
And I just wondered if that springs to mind of when you think that was.
Got to be mum and dad, I think, for me.
Wow. All right.
I
never even thought of that.
I would say. But that's probably because it's like subconscious is so far before, isn't it? No.
Yeah.
I think because you're so reliant on them, and like at a certain age, you're so like reliant on your parents for everything that.
I guess I don't even think about it. Yeah.
Really,
mine was
you
a wise
banged
at
your
80.
knee. What did you do when you banged your knee when you were very young? You're crying. Who'd you go to?
Cry. Not a wise at 80.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe
you're
that's
right.
Not
yeah,
love.
you're
maybe,
right.
No, maybe I'm off. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I just remember I was thinking about it before asking you earlier. I was a wise at 80 dude for sure. Because I just lusted for it for so long, and it finally happened, and I was obsessed. I'd sit and stare at the thing, and I'd polish it all the time, and I was just it was like a real whenever I'd open the garage door and see it, I'd just feel that thing in my heart, and when it started, I'd just be like, oh, this is it, this is everything to me.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mine was a wise
cool.
at 80. Yeah. All right.
I was like it.
I think mum and dad's a better answer. I'd love to hear from people in the comments. What's the first thing you feel you can remember feeling real love for? First thing, first person. Let us know, because I think people are going to be quite different in this.
Yeah,
I mean, one's a parent and one's a wise at 80. So,
mate, I think about mine. I think about the things that I can think beyond parents. But then even that is like drawing. I used to,
Okay.
I still do love drawing and, graphics or whatever. But then I think about that, I'm like, Mum told me I was good at drawing.
Yeah.
So then it
all goes back there, is it?
It does. Mum told me I was good at drawing, so I was like, thanks. And you're the best. Thanks. That means I'm good at drawing.
I think the thing is with the YZ80 though, or like the materialistic thing when you're young, for me, that was probably around 12, 13 years old when you're just starting to have probably those emotional feelings of like, oh, I really like that thing, or I love that person, or a crush. And mine was definitely a YZ80, for sure.
Yeah.
It was a different kind of feeling that I don't remember feeling before that.
Interesting.
Of really like loving that object. Maybe puberty starting to kick in and stuff. Yeah, just overwhelmingly like obsessed with it, and you can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
There you go.
I felt that way about
the old two-stroke will do that to you.
Basketball, two-stroke, a heady cocktail, two-stroke and gasoline, burning gas and kicking ass. There you go. Great question though. I liked it.
Yeah. So we did put something out on Instagram and asked people to submit their awkward/funny dating stories.
Yeah. We've got a whole. To hear these.
Well, we've got a whole bunch that we probably can't read out, but we have got a few that we can read out.
Before we do that, let's go to an ad break.
This is our first AG1 Athletic Greens advert.
Together
in person.
Optimised.
And to celebrate, we're going to show you how you make one.
Yeah, we are. Yeah,
but first, we should go through the points, right?
Definitely, we should go through the points, and then we can use this as inspiration.
Okay, so
this is literally how it works.
So we got to talk about us.
But it's really easy with this product because I genuinely do use it every single day.
Likewise.
The mornings don't feel optimised without a scoop of Athletic Greens.
It's completely become part of my daily routine.
That's beautifully done, mate.
Yeah, nice one. Okay, I'll do the next point. Yeah. Our mission is to empower people. Instead of people, I'm going to put companionship. Our mission is to empower the companionship to take ownership of their health with a simple daily habit. Yeah. What makes you stick to a habit? And how have you made AG1 a part of your life?
I'm loving how it makes me feel, mate. And my days are genuinely better after I've had Athletic Greens. Knowing that you've taken 75 different vitamins, minerals, and whole food ingredients. Yeah. Before your eyes are even awake and like before you're still wiping.
Because you have to take it on an empty stomach, right? You have to take it on empty. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I do.
It's literally first thing in the morning, get it done. That's how it's become part of the habit.
Do you do it before brushing your teeth or after?
I actually do it before. Is that gross? Okay, you go with the scoop guy. So that's
and then you do a travel pack, and then we can show our beautiful companionship exactly how you do this.
Exactly, right? Yeah. So that's a month's worth in that.
It's a month's worth in here. Isn't it?
Yeah, I keep that in the fridge. I keep all of it in the fridge.
I don't keep it in the fridge, but
it's better for it.
Cold up north.
There you go. You don't need to.
You
don't need to.
All right. Okay. Do you want to do yours first, or should we do it at the same time?
Let's do it at the same time because it's cute, and also because it's mainly audio. This is going to encourage people to go to the YouTube video to see us make it.
Okay. The highly
technical
drink being made.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I like. Oh,
here we go.
The spoon's amazing.
Hey, by the way, I'm currently using the travel pack. You've got 30 days worth in there.
Yeah.
I'm currently using the travel pack. Now, when people sign up using our code, they actually get 5 of these, and they're very useful for when you're on the road, because once this is a part of your routine, you don't want to stop it.
Exactly.
Even if you're on the move.
Beautifully said.
Thanks.
Okay, so you're just gonna put yours in. I'm just gonna put mine in.
That's a portion there. That's a portion measured out into a bag, and yours is a portion in a
scoop. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so that's really good.
Just wanted to give a shout out to the lovely container too, and the spoon.
Oh, it doesn't feel high quality.
The spoon's so nice.
Yeah.
So.
What do you do next?
Exactly. I just wanted to ask you.
Okay. Well, I actually like to just start things off with a little bit of swill.
Ooh.
Is that called a swill?
Yeah, that's nice.
Or circular motion. Depends which part of the world I'm in to which way it spins, because sometimes if I'm in the other hemisphere, it actually goes the other way. So that's just completely dependent on my location.
And then you go a bit of more of an aggressive one.
Yeah, and then I go with the aggressive one. Obviously, the location is important. Yours is actually spraying out and hitting me a little bit, but that's fine.
Oda AG1.
Yeah, the location is important because I've got the travel pack, whereas your direction is less important.
What do you think the ideal location to drink an AG1 is?
Right where you are right now.
Beautiful. Okay, should we have a...
Yeah, have a take. Oh, wait. undo the lid.
Yeah.
But then, also if you sign up using our code, you get a year's supply of vitamin D, which is very relevant at the moment because as you can see in the background, it's very dark and a little bit dingy on this building site. So I'm just going to give you a little drop.
Nice.
That should replace the sunlight that you're not getting.
Okay.
On a cold winter day.
Put this back in, or do you just go with it?
Let's do a bit more because we like this bit anyway, don't we? Now the taste test. There's no point in taste testing. I have it literally every day. It's delightful. Cheers. Thanks AG1. Thanks Athletic Greens. The link is in the description.
Cheers.
Right.
We're gonna have a little bit. I feel like the ad read would be better now. I've had some of that.
Long ad now, innit? Yeah, it probably would have done. We should have drank it first.
AG1 is so much more than a greens powder. It's all of your key health products in one. And that's one thing I love about it. No more massive supplement drawer, man.
Yeah.
I used to have them all racked up there, all of the different ones, whereas now it's just boom.
Literally that.
It's that.
Done. And that.
All that.
If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/ride companion. What address is that, Davey?
athleticgreens.com/ride companion. That's athleticgreens.com/ride companion.
And check it out.
And we're back.
Oh, that was a good ad, mate. Good ad break.
It was good. Hey, have you noticed that the production quality is on the way up?
Yeah. We're just teasing it in.
If you're listening, you're gonna have to start checking it out. You're gonna have to start watching it. You know, you're gonna have to head to the YouTube and checking it out. So we're back to the show. Let's hear.
Back to the show. So we got our first one. This person hasn't said whether he wants to remain anonymous or not, so we'll say his name. It's John Yido Chadwick. Awkward dating story. When I was 20 to 21 years old, an older woman kept trying it on with me. She was 42 at the time with an 18-year-old daughter. Whoa. In the end, I agreed to go out for drinks with her, thinking why not. Went back, did the deed. Lads. And then I don't understand this bit. Went back and did the deed, and it wasn't until after I needed a coal miner's hat and a pickaxe. I don't know what that means.
To get him out of a hole. Is that what it is? Is that the...
Okay. What? Okay, anyway, after that, if anyone knows what that means, let us know. She announced that it had been 14 years since she had been with anyone, and commented how good I looked for my age. She thought I was mid-40s and was mortified when she realised I was her daughter's age. Even after all this, she still invited me out again, so I must have done something right.
Mate, I bet she did, dude. I bet she did.
Knew. She knew, didn't she, really? She was just like, oh, are you really?
I didn't realise the lights were dark. Yeah, of course not. There you go, that's a good story. Yeah, I reckon,
That's a good one.
I reckon that's to dig him out of a hole, coal miner's hat, and something like that.
Do you reckon, like, to get out of there almost?
Get yourself out of the hole.
That's what it is?
That's what I reckon, yeah. I don't know, though. No, I like that one. This is so fun. Do you know, I really enjoy these stories. Which is sort of proof that I have an uninteresting life in that department. You know, we're just plodding along, we're cruising. Long way from being single.
At Sydney Taylor. There's your Instagram handle as well, mate. A bird once asked to suck my toes an hour into the first date.
Whoa! What did he do in that first hour? What was he doing? Did he like...
Wow, he's probably must have been wearing flip-flops. He's got his toes out on his first date.
For that to happen, something must have happened. They went to the restaurant and there was like this is what I imagine, in order to get that after an hour. They're at the restaurant. I'm predicting what happened. They're at the restaurant, some thieves broke in, and they're like, this is a hold up. They're like holding up the tills. And then he goes over. He goes over and he takes his shirt off and he like serious 6-pack.
Yeah.
And the guy spun around with the gun and he's just fucking, got it off him.
Yeah.
And then he's put him in a sleeper hold and he's gently stroked his eyes as the guy went to sleep, and then the police turned up. And then the girl must just be like, whoa, that guy's so amazing.
All those toes.
And then maybe he gave money to the cashier because they were upset. at the restaurant. You know,
Yeah.
they were upset by it, or they were stressed. So he tipped a massive. So then he looks like powerful, strong, quick, dependable, kind, sensitive, and rich. And in that, and that's how you get your toes sucked.
That's it, innit? Get you. Maybe, mate. I like it. I think maybe that's what she was after.
Do you reckon that's
those
what
toes
happened?
in that mouth.
Do you reckon that's what happened for it to happen?
It's gross. I don't know. I'm not a toe guy. I mean, we don't need to get into this much further, but I'm not into having my toes touched or licked or anything, or doing it back.
I'm not into feet, dude. I'm not into feet.
I don't like feet. My feet are... I mean, they're all right. I've got quite nice feet, to be honest with you. I see other people's feet and I go, fucking hell, they're disgusting. Like, all toes are all different lengths. Mine are quite, like, nice, like, good angle.
Nice.
Yeah, they start little piggy up to big piggy. It's like a nice transition. But some people go, like, jagged garden gate style.
Yeah,
no,
I don't know what mine are. I don't even look at them. They're just a part of my body that's just like... You're not
just wet most of the time, like
yeah, poor things. They're just at them. Yeah, poor things.
All right, we got another one. We got Shawnee Finlayson. Just checking. Didn't want to stay anonymous. We're all good. Thank God. I was at a conference in Vegas, and I went out on a date with someone that I'd had a virtual in brackets professional meeting with previously. So it's a colleague, right? It's a colleague probably.
Right, yeah.
We ended up going back to his hotel room to, winky face emoji.
Winky face, no.
Once we got back to his room, he excitedly said, "Oh my God, I forgot the line dancing world championships are on. Do you mind if we catch the end of it?" I was too awkward to say no. So he put it on the TV, and then we laid in his bed watching line dancing for over an hour. Once it was over, he then proceeded to put country music on and showed me his line dancing skills.
This really happened. Yeah.
Shawnee, I am sorry. That was all me. Sorry about that. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's tough. Dude, I mean, unless you've watched line dancing, like, don't knock it because the music's good and you can't help but jig along. But also, if you're going to get jiggy, don't put line dancing music on.
Line dancing isn't Michael Flatley, is it? That's river dancing.
No, that's river dancing.
Line dancing?
That's like tap dancing, isn't it?
Is it? Yeah.
I mean,
so line dancing is like where you walk around and you sort of like... It's proper country music one, isn't it?
Country music. Everyone does the same thing. So usually you do start in a line of people and then everyone does the same move and then it's like...
And there's world champs for it.
I mean, there's world champs for everything, isn't there?
It seems so. Can we watch... Should we do a live watch along of the line dancing world champs winner?
Shouldn't we?
I think we should.
Probably. Okay, let's just jump on the old YouTubes.
I'm really intrigued, dude. Yeah, is that cool? I'm asking you to.
I'd love to. What are you putting into your YouTubes? Line dancing world championship.
I've actually just got my WhatsApp open. I was going to wait for you to. I know. Just send it on.
Right, I've sent it you. Okay, no, it's cool, man.
I think that makes sense, doesn't it? One of us searches and then send it on the chat.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I found it here. Good. Good. I'll just go for the top one on YouTube.
Yeah, do it.
Then it'll be easy for other people to find.
Out of interest, what views is it?
Well, there's one that's got 9.3 million. There's one that actually says World Championship, which has got 164,000.
Okay. What, we're keeping it real on the 164?
Yeah, I think let's go with the actual... Yeah. Hang on. Let me put in Line Dancing World Championships. I'm going to put in 2022.
All right, yeah.
All right?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, let's see what the 2022 winners had for us and what they're going to have to beat this year.
Dude, you're not going to believe this one. So there's one that's here. It's got 1.8 thousand views, and it's someone in a bear suit. We've got to watch it.
And it's actually at their contest.
Sorry, it looks like it's an actual contest. Yeah. All right, let's go with this one. Right, we'll go with this one. It's a few years old, but this is the one. 23rd.
You send it to me in
23rd Crystal Boot Awards. Yeah, of course. Crystal Boot Awards. That sounds so country.
Crystal Boot Awards. Wow.
Do you want it on your WhatsApp?
Just the chat's fine in the studio.
Just the chats, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a studio chat because we're balling.
Yeah, you know. Wait. Mine started straight away. Up.
No ads on that, is there?
No ads on that. Ad free.
All right.
3.
I'm ready to go when you are, mate.
I'm ready, dude. 3, 2, 1.
Ready?
Play. Okay, here we are.
Wild Country. Oh man, I love that logo. That's sick. Although I'm not sure you can use that flag anymore.
Yeah, I don't know about that flag. I don't know. We'd have to do a lunch and learn on that flag, actually. So here we have it. There's a bit lined
Right, here we go. We're on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 people in a line. 3 at the front, 3 at the back.
There you go. Let's start.
We're clapping along. It's called the underdog, which is already a win for me because anything underdog's good.
They got
cowboy boots are dope. Belt buckle, cowboy boots, and a hat. That's kind of.
I mean, so far I can keep up with the dance. It's just clapping, isn't it?
Here we go.
Okay.
Right. Spin.
This is the. Is this the win? Did they win this with this?
Yeah, maybe. Crystal Boot Awards 2019 exhibition Wild Country.
Have you got music on? Because this is pathetic without music on.
I had it on really low, yeah. But without music, it's tough to watch.
Without music, it's one of the most pathetic. Like, it's not even difficult dancing. It's just, you know what I mean? It's just stuff. Yeah. It's like stuff. Maybe that's what's
it's
good
not
about
the
life.
Most energetic of dancing, is it? Oh, they're going a little bit now. Like, they're turning it up a little bit now.
The blokes look proper. I don't know.
What do they look?
Intel.
There's a segregation going on here too. You've got blokes at the back, women at the front.
Yeah.
Because they've got the little hot pants on, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why. I don't know, man. I feel like this is tough to watch. We should probably get off this.
This is a tough one. It's drying me right out. This is...
Yeah,
I don't think line dancing's for me.
Off.
Have you got another one that we can watch that's more like gangster?
Yeah, maybe. Let's have a look. What about the one that had 9-point-odd million?
I always find it funny, dude, because now both of our YouTube algorithms are now infected with line dancing.
I use a different one.
Do you? Yeah, you've got one that's just trash.
I got one that's just for when we record the podcast.
Is it for real? Yeah.
It's got like juggling in it or whatever we watch.
Nice.
Jiu-jitsu in cars and shit. Right, check that one out. I just sent you.
Okay, I'm on it.
All right. This one might have ads because this has got 9 million views.
It definitely does have ads. I wonder how much money they made off 9 million views. It's something I don't know. Hey, interesting. I've just started my YouTube up again with a couple of videos. Yeah. It takes a really long time to get amongst it again. If you have a break, which I have because I've not had anywhere to do any of it or Wi-Fi or anything in the new house. And it's shocking how badly YouTube videos do.
I think that first one you put out did really well though, didn't it?
It did, yes. Really and then the second one has not done well.
Right. Yeah, it's tough. It's fucking hell, dude. I wish I understood it. I really do.
So now I'm getting back into it. The revenue is pretty awful, and whenever you talk about money, you end up sounding like a you have to be careful always across the board. That's a tip, because we've all met the bloke that doesn't think about it and he talks about money and you're like, oh, it's an unsavoury thing, isn't it? So you've got to be careful. So I'd like to put in front of this. So my estimated revenue for the month is $190 from YouTube. And you're okay, that's...
Yeah.
You're like, shut up, Ollie, that's all right money. Bear in mind, you have to pay a filmer for that. You have to go to Sicily for that. Two filmers. You know what I mean? Like, you have to think about it in terms of like what it actually means. You have to build a brand new bike. You know?
So all in all, it's cost what? Like,
it's cost me loads of money, yeah.
$8,000?
yeah. So yeah, it's just
mind you, with offer code Jabello.
There you go.
You're in the green.
Right, back to the line dancing. I'm sorry, I just thought it was interesting. People
always. I've played this a little bit just to get it going, dude. I've gone 40 seconds in.
Really, yeah. It is necessary, isn't it? There's some sort of.
Now I don't know.
Okay, I'm 41 seconds. I'm ready to play.
I'd say this is the exact same track.
Oh, is it?
Isn't it?
Well, count.
I think so.
Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, play.
Go.
I'm going to turn the music up a bit. Hopefully it doesn't.
Mate, country music's so good. Digging the outfits on this one. That's something that I would definitely wear. I'd definitely go blue jeans, white top, cowboy hat, cowboy boots, big belt buckle.
Yeah.
That is a look. Yeah, I'm massive into that.
Mate, I'd be sticking it.
Cool,
if I
man.
did line dancing, you can't imagine how I'd stick a banana down the front of my sacks.
Oh, yeah.
I would stick
Yeah,
a banana
yeah,
down the
yeah,
front of my sacks, and I'd have it bulging out of those bootcut jeans. I feel like line dancing is exactly...
Bootcut jeans are tough.
The bootcut jeans are so tough. What's the history of bootcut jeans? Talk me through it. It's one of the most horrible looking, like the most horrible aesthetics I've ever seen. Okay, I've turned the music off. I think I've identified that line dancing is not for me, and is not something that I think is
cool.
even mildly interesting. It's just like,
wow. I think if you did it, I think you'd like it.
I think it's for people that don't have really any sort of rhythm, and it's like joining a Zumba class. Like, you can either do a sport and fucking get hot and exercise by doing a sport, or you can join like one of these classes. I actually did one yesterday.
Zumba?
No, I did a spin one. I was just in the spin room at my gym because I'd just done core bike. There you go. I'd just been to core bike. Seen loads of people at core bike. Core bike's really cool. It's all about bikes. It's for the press industry to go and meet up, talk about new things in biking. It doesn't, however, include any biking. And your boy over here with his attention problems and his energy levels, he needs to do something. And if he doesn't do something and he does eat lots, he gets very sad. So I went directly to the gym from core bike from Silverstone.
Nice.
I was in the spin room by myself, and then the class just started filling up around me, and I just joined a spin class. So I ended up doing 50k on a spin bike, and
it's hard spinning as well.
Yeah, so I did 50k on a spin bike. That was including like my ride, and then I did the spin class.
Wow,
it just makes me laugh.
Good effort, mate. Spinning's hard. Spinning is a solid workout.
Yeah, I love it. I actually that's like something I never talk about. I really like spinning. I know I'm really good.
Do you
at
tell
knowing.
people what you do if they ask you and you're in a spinning class? Do you be like, I ride bikes, or do you just go?
Keep it secret. I keep it secret.
Just in case you get beasted by like some woman who's like 60.
But they know, the instructors know. The instructors at my gym know. So last time I was there, I did a spin class, and it's got all of your numbers on the board. So if you're worried about competition, like I wasn't comparing my numbers, but if you're worried about that sort of stuff, it's not for you. Actually, there's no, like, you can hide, you can't hide. And this time,
so then it's like a leaderboard, almost, like a live one.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
The whole time.
Oh no.
The whole time. So your watts are up there. What you're putting out, your output is up there. And it's really clear and obvious. It's displayed in a really obvious way. So I did one before. I got like the for the gym, it was the highest. Like, the lady at the end did a announcement. She was like, "We've got a new record for the most amounts of the most watts produced in an hour." And that goes to bike number 23. Yeah, I won it, dude. Yeah, I won it. And then she goes to me afterwards. But I think you ride quite a lot, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah. Quite a lot.
Anyway, yeah. So I did this spin class, and it just made me laugh. Like, some of the music, man. Like, I'm really affected. I don't know, whatever I've got going on. Music I don't like really affects me, dude. I have to leave a room. I'm not interested in it. I don't want to listen to the radio. I don't want you to play some of that moaning shite to me. I can't have it in my ears. It ruins my day. Music will ruin my day, or it'll make my day. But it's some of my worst kind of music is like closed eyes singing about love, guitar, rock music. Really tough.
They don't play that in a spin class.
Yes, they did. They had, and it made me dig so deep. I can't remember who it is. I'm going to do it for you, though.
Yeah, go on.
Confession to make. I'm no fool. I know a lot of people like that music. That, to me, is the worst. That's the music that can make me feel the most claustrophobic. And, like, I hate that stuff so bad.
Wow.
Bon
Jovi's not for you.
You know what song I mean?
Guess the tune. Comment below.
You know that one?
Nah.
Fucking the best of you. Let's find out who it is. I'm useless.
Please.
Deliberately.
Mate, I hope we don't get flagged on YouTube for that.
No, we might.
That rendition.
Best of You by Foo Fighters. There you go.
Oh. All right, do your thing again, and I reckon I can get it. And now I know it. Go on.
I can't remember it now. A fucking computer me. I'm no fool. I always had swearing.
I got it now.
Yeah,
there
yeah,
you go.
yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Now you said it.
And you're just spinning away like, oh, this
Nice.
stinks. What are you doing to me, dude? It's like the wrong cadence, everything. Yeah, so yeah, I was in there just grinding it out.
Wow. Foo Fighters will make you turn those pedals like a mother.
Mate, that is the last thing I want to hear in a
I
spin
didn't think
class.
they did that in spin classes. The last spin class I did was very lights really dim, flashing lights,
Yeah.
like
Same
strobe
for-
lighting.
same
like
for
if you're
us, yeah.
epileptic, you'd be in a
Yeah,
tangle.
yeah, nightmare.
And just sort of like
Epileptic's
super
nightmare.
heavy
Just sweat.
drum and bass.
Just sweating. Just sweating.
And do you have an
fitting.
instructor on
Terrible.
a Do you have an instructor on a microphone?
He's like, okay, right.
Here we go.
Here we go. Yeah, we did. He didn't have his microphone, so it was quite hard to hear him. Homeboy was a dreamboat, though. You see all the ladies in there, how they. I tell you, I don't know if you ever noticed this, but as a guy, I don't. I think I'm pretty aware that we're looking at like sort of like a 5 out of 10 for me, right? And I'm not bothered. I've come to terms with it. I'm old enough to. I don't care. I have a lovely girlfriend. I enjoy my life. I know I'm a 5 out of 10. It doesn't really matter to me. When I see someone who's like a 8 or a 9 out of 10, there's a few people I hang around with, and I see how girls are with them.
Yeah.
It's quite something, eh? It's good. This is good for the Love That Last episode.
Yeah.
Mate, it is quite something. Have you been around it, or maybe you're that guy? I don't know.
I think I'm obviously that guy.
Obviously.
But if I take myself out of being that guy,
Yeah. I've been around it a few times, dude. And anyway, this guy was a dreamboat.
You've got a friend that's good looking, and he's one of those that you even warned me before we met him. Like, beware.
I
like, he's a
check out in the
good-looking
cafe
dude.
how people serve him. It's
yeah,
different
exactly.
to
And I
what
was like,
we
oh
had,
yeah, I get it. I do get it. I get it now.
giggling, like chucking hair around. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. But this guy was a dreamboat. Even I think I sniffed the air when he came in.
What, right behind him?
Yeah, no, I was already in my thingy, and then he came in, and I was like, I wasn't. It was a joke, but it didn't go down. Whatever. Swing and a miss. You can't.
Mate, you can't get them all. Pheromones, just pheromones in the air.
Yeah, you can just tell he's just the way that the ladies in there for the spin class were. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Wet saddles.
there's like a thing, isn't there? Like being good looking.
Sorry.
Doesn't...
So bad.
There is like an advantage. Good looking people have an advantage in life, right? Because you know that
Definitely.
like the guys in there, like the older guys in there, they're trying to get fit. They kind of look up to him as like a young sort of stud, The women in there, they just want to talk to him. They're in there, they're getting on their fitness, but they just want to have like an interaction with a young stud like himself.
Just want to be close.
They just want to be close.
Feel the energy.
Yeah,
Because that's the thing. People want to feel that energy, right? That energy.
Everyone wants a piece of you when you're hot. Everyone wants a piece of you when you're hot. When you're not,
Like a piece of hot pie.
you've got to find ways of getting attention in different ways. Whether
Yeah. And what's yours? Biking? Being funny? I don't know.
Fuck knows, dude.
Money?
Fuck knows. It's like when you think about it, like everything's so. Yeah, who knows? I think I used to try too hard with girls when I was single. I did. I used to go in too hot.
Really?
Yeah, not good looking enough. You can't go in that hot if you're 5 out of 10.
You'd have sucked some toes, wouldn't you? After an hour.
Keep me away from the toes, dude. I'm not about that life. Leave the feet to the feetinator.
Yeah, not toe dub.
That was good. That was good. Well done. That was good. Well done. Congrats.
Thank you. All right. Should we do a couple of listener questions, then get out of here?
Hey, please.
Thanks for the list there, the submissions, the dating ones. We got a few more, but
Some of them are bad. You run the risk when you ask. You want people to do nice PG stories, don't you? And
then, we got a few balanced ones. Then we got 2 guys, a girl, so it wasn't all one-sided. That was perfect.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Here we go. Let's see what we've got in here.
Running low on homosexual stories, so any homosexual listeners, if you could get them in.
There are listener questions. I've clicked the wrong one. We've got too many things up at the moment. Dating stories, listener questions. There are listener questions. I just read it. I was like, oh my God, there's like 3 answers, but it's from the most latest one. So here we go.
I still need to log in.
Here we go.
I can't help you with this. Sorry, dog. You're on your own.
Oh yeah, I know. Sam.Redfern MTB. Are hardtails dying out, or will there always be a strong hardtail community? This is it, actually. Yeah, no, go on. We're good. We'll stick with it.
What were you going to say?
I was just interested to think, like, will there ever be a point where like, regular bikes aren't a thing, and e-bikes is the only thing you can get? Because I hate the future if that's what it looks like.
Yeah, I do.
We'd love to hear from people. I'd love to hear from people if they think that is a reality.
I'm trying to think of examples of it. Like, for instance, I'm trying to think of examples of brands that are like only have only have e-bikes. So e-bike only brands, Hi-Bike, yeah. Is that the only one? Husky?
Yeah. E-bike only. Quick Google. Oh, it doesn't bring anything up. Terrible. Nah, let's ignore that. E-bike only brands. Let's hear from people below. Like, do you have any suggestions? Hi-Bike's definitely one. Then you say, you have got these motorcycle companies that are becoming bike companies that aren't really, because they're e-bike only.
Yeah.
But as far as I'm aware, we spoke about this before. Don't quote me on this, but a lot of them use the same manufacturer, and it's just the same bikes branded with a different logo.
Yeah, indeed. So what?
A lot of Husky, Gas, etc. are all just, I believe, don't quote me, same thing, different logo on it.
Let's put this out as a clip, because I'm interested in this. I would love to hear from listeners what it does to a bike brand if it only does e-bikes. How it makes you feel. What the need for normally aspirated bicycles is. Because there is one. Why is it that? What does it make you feel about a brand like Pilgrim switch from Hi-Bike to Canyon? What does it make you feel about that? Like, I feel hyped now because now you see Pilg on like millions of different bikes, whereas before he was always sort of like maybe a bit limited. Not trying to speak bad on any brands, because everyone's got their own spot and there's no.
Yeah, but if your style of riding is backflips and, crazy stair gaps, the e-bike probably isn't the one for it.
Yeah, totally.
You need another option,
I mean, yeah, exactly. It can.
There is this middle ground now emerging, right, of like bikes where they're both. The Fazua model, for example. I know Transition recently launched a bike where you can take the motor out or off. I don't know how that works. It's probably the same. Is that the same as the Focus one? You could ride it either.
You can take the battery
or.
out, and it's still of a crazy.
So there's something there, but it's still heavier, etc. So what is it though that keeps us going back to regular bikes? I think it's just the pureness of it. It's how the whole thing evolved, was that like that's
I can't imagine.
Some people love feeling the burn as well, man, like and I think you still do get that from an e-bike, obviously, but people love that raw silence of being out and just chugging away, pedaling.
I think what it is that when you just think of mountain biking, because that's what we are as mountain bikers.
Yeah.
You don't, like, the picture in your mind, you just close your eyes, the picture in your mind, it is of you pedaling a bike up a hill. It's not of an e-bike. An e-bike is a different experience. As much as it shares a lot of the same things, it is a different experience. So, you'd want to buy an e-bike from a mountain bike company. That's what I think it is for me.
I agree. Yeah. That is exactly it. That's a great point. That is a great point. And it's interesting to think how these other brands look at biking. They're looking at it from a different angle as what we'd look at it from as a mountain biker.
Yeah.
It's like the brand has an add-on, which is an e-bike, whereas they're looking at it as the e-bike is the brand almost.
Yeah,
Is that,
they're looking at.
It's really hard to explain.
No, they're
My
looking
brain
at it like
isn't
an
working
alien
strong
that's
enough for
landed
it.
and it wants to go electrically mountain biking. It wants to go mountain.
And also, probably looking at it a little bit more chasing a trend. Not a trend, but like this is the latest thing, so that's what we have to do before establishing a base as a good bike brand.
Yeah.
That with good bikes. Does that make any sense?
Definitely, it does. Please comment below this video. We'd love to hear your thoughts on what it is.
That's a great conversation.
It is, isn't it? I don't even.
You know
what
what would be interesting as well is for someone. Yeah, I know, for someone watching this to ask maybe an outsider to biking and be like, what would you think? Because I think the way we view it is very different to the way the outside population views it. But I think that could be quite an interesting topic there. There's something that we should explore on a future episode somehow. If we could get a bit of data together, we can talk about it.
Graphs.
On the next episode, yeah. Stats.
Minority report, we could have like, like it.
Like Exhibit A.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Nice.
Exactly.
Like it. Yeah.
All right.
Fantastic.
Anyway, and back to the hardtail question. I think personally, I don't feel like hardtails are going away. There's always going to be like you said, there's a strong hardtail community out there. And again, if you're going to go back to the rawness of biking, hardtails are great, man. They're awesome for learning bike handling skills. You know, it's tough to ride a pump track. Obviously, I know it's a different style of bike, dirt jump bike, whatever, but yeah, they're good for long rides, especially.
Is that what you'd say? A hardtail is he's not talking about dirt jump bikes.
No, I think he's definitely talking about like a mountain bike here, isn't he? Like
hardtail mountain bike,
XC bike or something like that.
For XC, it's still a great tool. I've never fully got behind personally. I've never enjoyed an aggressive enduro hardtail. It's not something that really interests me. I like how suspension works. I like making a bike.
Yeah.
But from everything that people have said, it is fun because it means you can ride the same track slower and feel more out of control and more on the edge.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, whatever's fun, isn't it, really? I like the idea.
Whatever's fun. And also cheap, like, is a great entry level into the sport as well, right? You don't have to deal with, dual suspension mountain bikes. Like, you could just get into it with a good, like, you get a really high spec hardtail for like £1,000.
Yeah, it's very true.
And that can be the entry in.
Great question.
So, yeah.
Hardtails aren't dead, dude. That was one of the first sections I got. Earth 3, I think. It was in a Hardtails, not...
Yeah?
I think it's called Hardtail. No, it's called Hardtails Rule. And it was PT and Warncliffe with Pagey. Do you remember that?
I do vaguely remember it. Yeah, Earth 3, you think? Yeah. The one with Rennie on the cover.
Yeah, or the one with... Was it the one with Warner?
Was it Rennie?
Anyway, it had me before I was riding for DMR, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
God, you've been in it for a minute, haven't you, kid?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, Earth 3. When was Earth 3?
Let's have a look.
Let's have a look.
Yeah,
it's bad. It's a long time, isn't it?
So this was this one of your first appearances?
Maybe, but I
2005,
I might be making it up. So what? 2005. So when's that? How many years ago is that? I can't remember if I'm on a DMR or not.
I can't do that sum.
Because I might
12?
have been in Earth 2.
Oh, really? Hang on, I'm just looking. I've got the thing here. So it's in Earth 3, you've got Hardtails Rule in England, yeah.
Yeah, it's
third
got me
bit
and
of
Brent.
the movie, yeah.
It's got me and Brent. I do a step through lander. Yeah, there you go. That's cool. But I think I'm on a DMR by that point. So it's not my first appearance is in a previous one, which is even more crazy, isn't it, really?
What, a previous Earth?
Yeah.
There you go. Mate, I loved Earth. Oh, we don't need, I mean, that's a story for another day. I'd love to get ranking on. That'd be fun.
That would be good. That'd be great, actually, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be great to get ranking on at some point. A great studio guest.
Yeah, too right. I'm just watching through it now. I wonder how many of our listeners are from that era.
Is it on the tube, is it?
It'd be great to... Yeah.
On YouTube?
Yeah, well, I just Wikipedia'd it or whatever, and I was looking through these sections. It's mad how, like, I can remember every section. you know. And I remember being in it and just being like, what on earth? I'm in this video. Like I got Sprung 1, Sprung 2, Sprung 3, Sprung 4, and we just watched them relentlessly. They were like the only thing you watched. It wasn't like you had TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, anything. You had to buy these videos, and Sprung was like the coolest. Rankin.
Do you remember like back then? How did you? I mean, it seems so crazy now, but this is kind of like post-internet, right?
Yeah.
Pre-internet, sorry.
Pre-internet.
So do you remember like how that conversation came about? Like who do you meet? How do you end up filming a segment?
I got Dad to in terms of how I got in there. Yeah, mate, I was up the woods at the right time. That's all it was. They were filming. Right? Yeah, they were filming DMR road trip before I rode for DMR. So that's how I got him my first video. Yeah, I was just up there.
Wow.
Yeah, that's nuts, isn't it?
How cool is that?
Yeah,
right place, right time, dog.
Yeah, mad, eh?
Yeah.
But I just when you asked me that, I thought you were going to ask me how did you like, because obviously there's no adverts for it, but they're only in print ads, so it would be in dirt at the back of dirt, because Rankin obviously wasn't like he didn't have loads of money to advertise the video, so it'd be in the back of dirt, and then you'd mail off for it. You'd mail off with a check in a
crazy
in an envelope, and my dad loved biking back then, and he'd love to buy these videos and stuff, and we used to just consume every bit of mountain bike stuff.
I remember going into Halfords. They used to have it on the Duke video stand. They used to got Duke distribution, and you go into Halfords to see what videos they had.
Yeah.
And going in there and you're like, oh my god, I've never seen this one before.
Yeah.
Like, this is new.
Sprung 5.1 or whatever. But like,
it was like purple helmets and all like crashes of 1994, and then it was like Earth.
Yeah, we need to get Rankin on here, dude. That'd be the best, because at the time, think of what he had. Like, he just made made mountain biking way cooler than it was at the time. Way cooler. Rankin, Dirt Magazine, those guys were responsible for making it way cooler. And Rankin brought along so much like skate influence, and like, do you know what we're missing now is a bit of that, because of the kind of royalties for music and stuff like that. Everything is more the same. Whereas back then it was like, because I used to wait till the end of the videos. I'd find out what record label the music credit was, and I'd go and order it from the record store.
Yeah, been there. Yeah, did the same thing. I remember there was a film called Air Wars, which was a freestyle motocross DVD. Came out in 1998. Yeah. And what I did was I got my tape player or tape recorder, and I put it next to the speaker for the TV and recorded it so I could listen to it on a Walkman.
Yeah.
Super weird, shittiest quality, but it was like, I just wanted to hear those songs. It was like Kid Rock, and
I don't quite understand music royalties, because it's like for me, at least for me when I was younger, and I guess I really like music, or like I like purchasing music, joining in, you know. So like when there was one of these Kid Rock songs or whatever that you heard, I would actually end up buying it from watching the video.
Yeah.
So when you upload to
I wonder how many records Danny McAskill sold for that one off his Inspired First Edit, which had millions and millions. Is it Dark King of Horses? What was that called? I can't remember the name of it.
Probably quite a few.
Oh man,
we're well googly this episode, aren't we? I quite like it though. I don't mind it. Do you think?
You know what I mean though? You know that song, right? I mean, it's iconic now.
What I've got in my head is one of those like M83 songs for some reason.
Oh man, Inspired Bikes one look, 39 million views.
Wicked.
And it's I wonder if he's got it in there now. Band of Horses. That's it. Okay. Band of Horses. Yeah, The Funeral. Band of Horses. Like, he must have blown that song the fuck up, because I'm pretty sure he ended up doing something with them a few times after, and ended up meeting the guys and stuff. But holy
that's cool.
shit.
I like that.
Yeah, and it's doing it the right way. You just found a song you liked, sling it on a video.
Yeah.
Like you say, I don't know where they stand record label wise. You know, everyone wants to make money these days, right? So.
Yeah. Who knows? But Rankin would make an excellent guest for sure. We need to do it.
Yes,
I'll message him.
Can you talk about your new product yet, or not? There's a question that's all.
It seems ridiculous because I just got back from Core Bike and like everyone was posting pictures of it and all sorts. I don't really understand the embargo, but I'm just not doing anything in case I get it wrong. It's out on March 23rd.
Oh yeah, of course it is. We'll do something.
Yeah,
don't worry, folks. There's a bunch of questions about it or them.
Oh, is there? Yeah, wicked. Oh, that's cool. That's hype. Sorry. We'll answer them soon.
Yeah. Seems like penis pumps are quite the thing at the moment. The 23-inch. Ali Clarkson. Who in history would you most like to swap bodies with for a day? Ooh. Swap body. Is it pure? If it's purely aesthetical, just so you can stroll around with your shirt off, I'm gonna go Callum von Meruga. He was like Mr. Universe a few years ago. Aussie dude.
Really? Yeah.
Shredded.
He's a dreamboat. I think he's doing my spin class now.
Oh, is that him? Yeah, that's Callum. Yeah. He's bodied up, dude. Good looking kid.
Really, yeah.
If it's aesthetic, I'd go for him. At the moment, I think... Sorry to hijack this. I'd love to swap... Who in history... So it's not that long ago, but I think I'd swap bodies with Travis Pastrana, and I'd race the Daytona 500 in his body just to see what that was like. Because he actually did really good at his first Daytona 500. He got 11th or something.
He was like 9th at best,
I wonder what that was like. Yeah. Crazy.
Beast.
Mate, unbelievable talent. Great guest in the future. We'll get him in studio somehow.
Yeah, that'd be a good one, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think I'd go with... I'd just like to experience that. I was trying to watch it as well. It wasn't easy to watch the Daytona 500 if you don't have a TV. But I was trying my best to watch it so I could see what it was all about.
Behind the paywalls.
Big time.
Yeah. I'd go... for me, I'd do the classic... tiny point guard basketball player guy thing, and I would love to be Shaq Diesel for a day. And also, Big Shaq has one of the best. I absolutely love Shaq's social media because he uses it how he should use it, and he's like unbelievably funny.
Really?
7'1" tank of a man, and he just doesn't take himself seriously, which is it's so sick being 7'1" because you can just like, if you just don't take yourself seriously, then you're just funny the whole time. Like everything he does is funny because he's sort of just like a bit like, I don't know, there's something so good about Shaq. Yeah, he really gets it. So yeah, that would be who I'd be.
That's a good one. Good one. Okay.
We got more.
Okay, hang on. Let's just do one more because we're like 1 minute 30, 1 hour 30 in. I reckon.
Let's do one more. Yeah.
I'm just finding something.
I want to do another shout out to Omar for the, or is it Omar? I don't know how you say it, but they've done our theme tune's so good. It got me so hyped seeing our theme tune when we had it sent through. It got me so hyped.
It's really cool. Yeah. Really, thank you, Omar. We'll put a link in the show description so people can follow them on Instagram.
UK.
At Oma.uk. Okay, what about this? Kyle Gibbo Gibbs. Once a week riding, is it better to go to a bike park or local loam trails to become a better rider? It's a great question. For someone that's only got a 1 day a week ride time.
Yep.
What would you say, Ollie?
I mean, dude, you got to mix it up. You've got to mix it up, but repetition is key for anything that you're going to improve on. So I would say, whatever you want to be good at, you've got to repeat. You know, if you just want to be good at loam, if you just want to be good at turns, if you just want to be good at jumps, you just got to repeat each of those things. So that would be my advice. But I hear you, riding once a week is like something that we've all sort of done in the past, and well, I certainly have. And I always had jumps, because jumps is like a skill-rich thing, I feel like, and like you repeat the same thing over and over again. So jumps was always really good to me, even when I had limited time to actually ride and I was working the whole time. So I compare the same to like my girlfriend who rides road, and just for her, just to go on a short ride takes so long. We're lucky in our sport. We can repeat a load of corners, a load of jumps in an hour, really, can't you? You can get a load done in an hour.
Yeah,
so.
that like endurance sport training is really difficult.
Tough.
Yeah, I remember, I mean, it's kind of similar, but when I was training to do a marathon last year, a few years ago, or whatever. The amount of time that you've got a lot just to train is crazy. And it, like you say, with mountain bike, you can go out for half an hour, ride the same trail a few times, and it's so much fun.
Yeah.
And you get tons of bang for your buck. So I think for this guy, like I like you say, I think I'd mix it up, but I'd go like have a whole month of just riding local stuff and just get loads of riding in, and then go bike parks for a month.
The local stuff.
But you get way more bang for your buck, don't you? Just local, right? Like develop the local scene a bit more, do a bit of digging in the day, like just improve where you live, like create your own mini bike park sort of thing.
Absolutely.
I think that's the move.
Wherever I live.
We were talking about it when we were together, right? Like living in a small circle is becoming really, really more attractive to me.
Yeah.
From someone, you know, who's travelled a lot and had businesses in other countries and all sorts. Right now, everything's in such a small circle, apart from the studio, I've been 4 hours drive away, but everything else is in such a small circle. That's annoying, isn't it? Oh, I can do a Target advert. I'm really enjoying it, and I think having riding as close as you can and being able to just hop on and just go bang out a few laps is the dream.
I agree.
So,
do you know what I kind of liken the kind of bike park travelling away from home thing? I'd liken that to a long distance relationship, which I remember my first girlfriend ever. She went to university. I did the classic thing of the dude staying at home, not going to university, and then travelling up to see her. And it just puts pressure on that one day. So then you don't have like a normal, relaxed relationship. You have this sort of like, once a week I go and see her and we have to go and make sure we do loads of different things and activities.
Like forced fun.
Yeah, exactly. And like I would liken that for me to going away. Like if I go away to a bike park, I want to make most of that day. I want to get millions of runs in. Staying local is meant because you have options, don't you? You can do a short ride, long ride, repeat one track, I
agree.
also love the idea of like wherever I live being like Disneyland for bikes. So just building shit everywhere. You come out of my house and you go down there and then, oh, look, there's a little cutty rut where I've just ridden it over and over again. I love that shit. It looks, a bit like a crazy person lives nearby because there's all these ruts and takeoffs at the side of the road and all of that. But I like that. I like living like that for sure.
Yeah, it is fun. For anyone who hasn't ridden with Olly in his local area, every road you go down, there's a cutty, there's a jump, there's a bank that you hop up. And it's kind of similar here, but I never really thought about it until I was riding with you. Yeah. You're like riding along, chatting, and you're like, there's a jump here, and you just fuck off to the left. It's so good. Oh, man. Great. Good times. Really appreciate it. And I think let's just wrap this episode up beautifully now. I mean, big up Focus for launching new bikes today, or whenever you're listening to this, if it's after March the 1st, which it no doubt will be.
Yeah.
There's new bikes if you want to go check out. Go play the dating game, arrange a test drive or a first date.
Find your love that lasts.
Find your love that lasts, and let us know in the comments section your favourite colour.
Yeah, let us know your favourite colour because both of us have been wondering. This has been episode 86.
Maybe go to the new outro.
Let's take them out with the new outro. Please.
Take them out. All right.
Peace.
Peace and love.
Like and subscribe.
Oh, that was a good episode, wasn't it?
Episode. Really enjoyed that one, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the best.
I think so. It's our best work so far, yeah, definitely. So what should people do if they want to keep in touch?
Just there.
Yeah.
There's one there.
One down there.
I think there's one there as well.
Like and subscribe.
Thank you.